I'm going to be looking at this article here that is up on Equinox Business Law. I'm going to be using it as an example, and I love it. It's really good. It's transparency is now mandatory. Is your business ready? So, Michelle, I'm going to stop talking. And I'm going to ask you. You know, when somebody reads that, transparency is now mandatory. That's an interesting way to put it. I guess I always thought transparency was important. Maybe it always has been, but talk about the definition of transparency in this case and what mandatory means in that regards.
Yeah, this is something that it occurred to me sometime last year as we were seeing specifically employment regulations, but it's even broader than that. The new Corporate Transparency Act is another example of this. And it feels as though we have more and more demands on business to share information, to disclose information. And the things that we used to rely upon as business owners, things like non-competes, things like NDAs, things like don't talk about your salaries, those types of things that have historically been tools that businesses have relied upon to retain and keep secrets and prevent their reputation from being sullied, are now things that they can't use anymore. Those tools are no longer available. And instead, there's more of a demand for sharing. So pay equity is a great example of this, and Corporate Transparency Act is another example of this. And so how do we as business leaders figure out how to comply, but then also to protect our businesses? Because these things that we've typically relied upon are no longer available.
I've been feeling like a shark in a shrimp tank, big fish, small pond.